Welcome to DanYellScraps. My name is Danielle and I'm glad that you're here. Make sure you hit subscribe, like, and that bell so you don't miss another tutorial.
Hi, welcome back. Today's video is going to be a part of the Scrapbooking Global Blog Hop. So this is happening today, April 18th, when this goes live. And what this sketch entails, and let me pull it up on my phone since it looks a little bit better there. So you can see there's like some grunge or some sponging back here, a couple of pieces of pattern paper. I'm trying to get it so that it looks good. Anyways, so that's what we're going to do here. It looks like maybe a 4x6 photo and two 4x3 possibly over here. It looks like they're matted. We have some journaling strips, a title, and then a large journaling area, and then some aphoria, oh my goodness, some accent pieces over here, so maybe some twine down here. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to walk through the process of what I'm doing and why I'm doing it and how I selected the things that I did. I wanted to focus on the Let's Go Anywhere Close to My Heart paper. This is sold out, but there's still might be some folks out there that have this paper collection and haven't opened it yet. So for my base page, I'm going to go ahead and go with a white daisy. I picked out this stencil that's since retired. It's just a grid, and I thought we would do some ink in the background using this as an accent. I am going to mat my photos in this paper right here. And then I'm going to use these two pieces as accent behind my photos. And the reason why I picked all the colors that I did is I just wanted to highlight some of these photos here of my son and my dad before they took the ferry over to an island and went camping for the weekend and things like that. So this was just something that I thought was really cool, and the colors in here went well with the papers that I picked out. I had originally wanted this for the green, but it really only coordinated with this one picture right here, and at that it was a stretch. So I decided to, flip and go over and go with the muted sapphire, if you will. And my son's shorts are blue here. He didn't change his shorts, but they definitely it definitely has a shadow on it, and they look black in there. But we're gonna go with it. So let's start by going ahead and inking the background and getting that started based off of our sketch, and then we'll want to cut our pictures down and get things moving along here. So So there's that. This is going to be our base, and then I know that I need a 4x6 photo and two 4x3s. So what I think I will do, because I'm going to use this shortbread piece right here to create this, I want to save paper. So in order to do that, I'm going to go ahead and cut this in half at 6. And what I'll do is I'll trim my photos to fit on here, and then I'm going to trim it at 8. Right, so I'm just going to line the edge up here. So now I have a 6x4, and then I'm going to trim again at 4. And now I have my 6x4 that I need. And then I'm going to take one of those 6x4s, I'm going to cut it in half. at 3, and now I have my 2 3x4 photo mats, and then I have a spare piece if I want to do a sister layout of any nature. And then let's go ahead and cut my pictures down. So this is just going to need to be cut down, excuse me, just 1/4 of an inch. On one side is going to be, on two sides is going to be fine. So just sort of cut this way, leaving my subject somewhat in the middle. And then I'll cut down on some of his little legs down here, just so we capture majority of the colors that are in there, and see how it just fits really nice right there on that, and it saves paper. And I've just cut away portions of the picture that aren't going to make a difference. These are going to be landscape, right? So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to eyeball where I think I don't want to go all the way down to the bottom, but I could take a significant amount off the top. So if I come this way, about right here, about 3.5 ish, I can cut that top off. I'll fold it back down this way, and I'll come in and just make it an even 3, because it's going to be 4 long and 3 tall. And then what I like to do, because I know it's going to be 4, I like to find the halfway point, and 4 is 2. So what I'll do is I'll take my subject and I'll try to get it centered so it's right around that 2 mark, and then it just makes it really easy for me to come in and trim it down to 4, and it helps. This is my way of keeping it centered, if you will, and I haven't really lost anything. Okay, so now I have the 3x4, and now I can see where I can trim it down to fit on my cardstock. So I'd rather take from the bottom, and I'm probably not going to take as much as I did on the 4x6, just because the picture is smaller. So I'm going to take a little bit here. I'm going to look and see that I can spare some room over here. Take just about maybe like 1/8 of an inch maybe. And so this one's going to have a lot smaller border, but it's still going to look just nice. Okay. I'm going to do that one more time. I'm just sort of going to gauge here where my picture is. And so then I just know that I can come in right around these pockets and go ahead and start there. And so this is just my way of sort of eyeballing it. So I'm already at that 3 mark. And then for my 4 mark, again, these guys are kind of like on the opposite sides of 2. So I'm just going to center that up. I can put this on the 4 mark. And now I've got a 3x4, and I'm just going to take a hair off. Like I said, maybe about 1/8 of an inch on 2 sides. Don't really want to cut my dad's hat out of the picture too much more than what it already is, so just take from the bottom. So that's how I trim up some of my photos, just to fit nice on my matting and save my cardstocks. So I hope that was a helpful trick for you, or tip for you. So I'm just going to mount those really quick, set my trimmer off to the side here. All right, so I have my pictures all mounted here. They look great. And I'm sort of just setting it up like our sketch is set up for us. And I am a creature of habit, so I like to start off with how the sketch is presented and then go from there. So let's see if we can just sort of turn this off to the side there so that it's not creating, there we go, that glare as much as possible. So now I have all of these. I could put them together like so. And then it looks like there's a few pieces of paper coming out on each side. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe sort of put them at an angle or something in that nature. I think I'm going to go with a 5 tall by 10 wide piece of patterned paper, and I'm going to start with this grid paper because it's like a hero paper. It has all of the colors in there, so I'm going to cut that really quick. So I've got this 5 by 10 cut. I'm going to put this right in the center, and then I'm going to sort of put these here and here like this, or maybe I'll do them this way. Oh, I love that. I think that looks great. I think what I'm going to do now, I'm going to come in with this, it's somewhat like, it's sapphire, but it's a little muted, maybe a little periwinkle in there too. So the sapphire is dark. I'm going to come in and I think I'm just going to do a strip at the top and the bottom. So it'll be 10 long and maybe an inch wide. And I'll just put those at the top and bottom. All right, so I've got those two pieces in, and I've cut one just a little bit bigger than the other, and that's okay. And so we're just gonna come in and layer this down under here like this. And these are just going to, this one's just gonna layer, just stick out a little bit farther. So I've saved a little paper there by not cutting a full sheet. And there's all of that. Great. I love the way that this is coming together. I think it's looking really good. Let's straighten this up just a hair here. All right. Looks like some pieces that we need to sort of toss in here are our title and embellishments like that, and maybe some journaling. I think what I'll do for my journaling is I will just leave this area open down here, and I'm not going to add any of those pieces for journaling. And let's go ahead and pick out our title. So I thought that I would use some of the chipboard pieces. Enjoy the journey. I thought that might make a really nice title to go right down here. Let's see, this is, maybe you can see it. There you go. Enjoy the journey. I thought that would be a really good one. And then the other one would have been Away We Go. But it didn't really fit this because you can't tell that they're on their way. So I thought maybe enjoy the journey. So let me pop this out and we'll put that on. All right, so I've got the title popped out and it's right here. And this is just still feeling a little plain to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my title off to the side, and I have decided that I need a little border on here. So before I adhere anything down, I am going to bring in this travel paper. This is another hero paper. This is a 12 by 12. And I'm going to do two things here before I create this. I'm going to cut the center of this out. So how I do that, and this is just a nice paper saver, is I just line the left side up to that 1 inch mark. Then I move my paper trimmer, the actual blade, to 1 inch on my paper trimmer here. And then I'm going to cut all the way down until I hit 11. And then I'm going to rotate my paper. I'm going to line the edge up to 1. I leave that right at 11. Bring it down. Stop at 1. Rotate. And it should just marry up every single time so that it's, I don't have to realign anything. Just stopping, rotating, cut, stop. And now I have this piece that's available for me to use on a future project. And if I didn't get it just right, which I did move this one just a hair, I didn't have it all the way up to the 1 inch mark. You'll find that. And yeah, you don't ever want to really pull the paper. I'd rather cut it. Okay, so this I'm going to use. This one I'm going to put aside and back in the bag so that I can use it for a future project. I'm going to lay this down on my pad, my Versamark pad here. And now for this one, I'm going to go ahead and I am going to cut a 1/2 inch off 2 sides. And so that should give me theoretically an 11.5 by 11.5 piece. And it should help stream down some of that starkness, even though I have some, oh gosh, that just made it super blurry. Sorry about that. Even though I have this stenciling done on here, I didn't want to overpower my stenciling. I wanted to keep it light. Okay, so now this is going to fit right on top of here. It still embraces that traveling sense, so you can still see that peek through. And then I'm just going to come in with my toffee here. And I'm just going to distress or ink the edges, and that too will help it pop off the page and give it just a little bit more character. So there's that. I'm going to do the same thing with my pictures too. to give them a little pop. I'll be right back. All right, all of my pages have been inked now, and I'm going to do a dry run. So I don't have anything adhered down just yet. Just going to do a little dry run here. I'm going to center this piece right here. So right in the middle of the project here. Let me get this all lined up correctly. There we are. This is going to get centered-ish. And then we'll add these pieces here and here. Or we can add them underneath. I'm going to put this here and that there. Like that. Perfect. I really, really like that. I think that looks awesome. But I really think that maybe we could elevate this just a little bit. So I think I'm going to come in and tear the paper. And how natural it looks, right? There. Oh, that gave us some really cool character, I think. And then now we can put our pieces back on. And they can hang off if they need to. Awesome. I love that. And then our little title is going to go right down here. And if you have these little cutouts, this is really detailed and it's really fine. So take your time popping it out. So enjoy the journey. I love that. And then we can accent it with some stickers here. So let me get this all adhered down and we'll be back to add our accents. All right, everything's adhered down, and now is the time that we're going to add in some accent pieces here. So in this collection, I did get the little sticker sheet that kind of comes a long way with it. So I wanted to pick out some of these little mini sentiments, if you will. So I thought I would put explore together, because they were, while they were waiting for the ferry, they were checking about some little pieces that were in the Veterans Park that they were buying, some equipment, and my dad was going over what his experience was with this equipment when he was in the military. So I thought it was a really great way for the two of them to bond. And then I thought I would put a little because they let him play on the playground while they were waiting too, so it wasn't a complete history lesson, right? So there's that. And then they have these really cute tabs here, and I thought those would be really neat to add into the edge of some of these. Let's put this one here, and I'm going to put this one right here. I just think they're really cute accents. And then I don't really want to use the red one. I know that there's red in some of these, but I really want to stay away from that part of it. Let's see what else is in here that looks really cool and I love. Let's add this scalloped border to the bottom right here. When we get to the end, I will snip it with my non-stick scissors, which I absolutely love. So there's that, and that kind of brings everything in. It brings a little bit of that tearing that we see in here in. And I think I'll also bring that in at the top. So just for ease of me, I am going to turn it upside down, so it'll be upside down to you, but for just a moment while I put this on and snip off the end. Perfect. I really love how this is coming together. So let's get our visual triangle. So that's something that I use when I need to create a focus so that my eye has some things to focus on. The title is going to go right down here. So enjoy the journey. I'm going to use a glue pen to put this on just because it's so delicate. And I should have did that a little bit ago, but that's okay. So I'm going to put that on with the glue pen, and then that'll sit right there in the middle. All right, that's all down. So let's build up our little clusters here. So I put this little tab right here, and I'm going to come in with Take the Scenic Route sticker. And I'm just going to place it right here. It does have an airplane in the back, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. It's faint. And we're going to add in just a little bit of little arrows here. And these are from that chipboard collection. Look how cute that is. All right, so we have one cluster here, and we can always add more. We'll do another cluster right here, and then our title will pair off on some pieces down here, maybe some arrows or maybe some axes or something like that. So let's come in and see what we can do. Let's add one of these little they're not geo, what are they called? The name escapes me at the moment. Like little map locators. Put him in right here maybe. Let's see what else we have over here that we could use. We have a little tag that says love this. A hotel. Oh, here's one that is on a sticker. Maybe that one would be kind of neat to stick in here. And I really love that. Could add that right there. I don't mind that at all. And let's see what else is in here. Ooh, I love these hearts, but my son would probably be like, Mom, really? Like, do we need to do the heart? Let's move on to enjoy the journey, and let's put some arrows down here. I have got two here that sort of point both ways to it. And then that leaves me plenty of space for my journaling. And I will add my journaling after the video, just because I'll add some information like who, what, when, where, and how. Boy, I really I just keep coming back to this. Like, I want to use it. I know he won't really care though. He'll be like, whatever, Mom. You used the heart. It's okay. And then maybe we'll add just an arrow here pointing out to nowhere. Well, we can add it to explore together. That's really cute. I think I like that. So sometimes your clusters don't have to be 700 different things in there. Sometimes they can be super simple, and they don't have to actually cluster on top of each other. They could just be gathered in one area. I really don't think, in my humble opinion, there are too many ways to scrapbook incorrectly. I think there are a variety of styles, and some appeal to more than others, sort of thing. But at the end of the day, my main focus isn't necessarily scrapbooking for others. It is scrapbooking that makes me happy and sings to my heart, and it's a way to preserve beautiful memories like this. I'm pleasantly pleased with the turnout of this. I hope that you enjoyed the sketch for Scrapbooking Global Blog Hop, that you follow along and make sure that you click the blog hop in my description below and check out everyone else's adaptation of that sketch. So until next time, I'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.